Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot, and today we're doing a reading. Actually, this is my second reading of the day, so go ahead and check out the first reading. That was geared towards the Divine Feminine, particularly the Divine Feminine who's struggling right now, who's struggling to let go, who feels stuck on the Divine Masculine or stuck on getting into union, stuck on this journey and feels like there are no answers, there is no way out, and you just feel like you need some guidance and assistance. So go and check out that video that I posted earlier today. This is a video where I'm going to delve into the masculines who are awakening and what they're currently experiencing. We did get some Nine of Swords energy in that previous video, so they're definitely not, an Eight of Cups as well, so they're definitely not having an easy time right now. They're in a huge transformational process, and it sort of feels like the void. So while they walk through this void space in preparation for massive transformation and coming out on the other side of that completely rejuvenated, renovated, you know, it's like they just gave me the word renovated as if you would apply to a house, right? A house renovation. That's what's happening internally with the masculines. They're also going to appear physically different. If you guys have ever experienced separation with your counterpart and coming back together, you will notice that there is a physical appearance difference, either for better or worse, depending on where they are in their journey. And you are going to see that it's going to be for the better this next time. They are preparing to give you a deeper commitment, but they are walking through a rite of passage right now, and they need to go on this journey. So feminines, it's really important that you not be afraid of walking away, of letting them go, and of turning all of your attention on yourself. This is not a soulmate 3D connection. It's not two souls. It's one soul. So you cannot turn your back on yourself. If you physically walk away, you're not turning your back on them and you're not abandoning them. That's codependency, and that's a 3D concept. This is really important that I drive this home right now, which is why I'm doing 2 videos about this, and I've made some posts over on Patreon about this as well. So we're going to pull some cards so the Divine Masculine can communicate to the Divine Feminine, because a lot of the feminine energy, guys, I'm picking up on it. It's frantic. It's sort of like this energy of desperation. It's from the Divine Feminine Collective. So this is really interesting that the roles have reversed in this way. So I want to see what's happening. If you guys are looking for private readings, I do not offer those anymore. But if you would like private healing sessions, guidance sessions with myself and another healer, a Reiki master, Holly, the Twin Flame healer, we are offering those to a limited number of people every month. So if you're interested in getting some guidance and you're really wanting to get unstuck on this journey, we are offering those at this time. It's one-on-one individualized coaching. It's actually 2-on-1 because there's 2 of us, individualized coaching. And I highly recommend it for anyone that's ready to get unstuck and really ready to take the reins off on your journey and just let's move forward. Because the more of us that wake up, the more of us that move forward, the more of us that learn to focus on ourselves and achieve inner union, the faster we're all actually going to get into physical outer union. So let's do this together, guys. Let's step out of this fear energy and let's step into this proactive energy and this energy of creation. It's the divine feminine essence, that spark of the divine, that spark of light. It's like the feminine has forgotten who she is right now. So let's step into that energy, feminines, and make sure that you are singing your own praises. Make sure you are doing things to give back to yourself. A big thing right now, a big theme right now, especially with this full moon in Pisces, is going to be the divine feminine gifting to herself. Guys, date yourself. I cannot stress this enough. I've been doing it for years. It's incredible. Even when you're in a relationship, you can date yourself. Buy yourself that gift, that necklace, that piece of jewelry you want. Don't worry about, don't wait for someone else to live your life. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can give anyone. If you want to take that trip, go on a solo vacation, go on that retreat, take that trip, live your life, because nothing is promised and we don't know what tomorrow brings. So go out there and live, guys. Wake up and live. Do not spend your days pining over the divine masculine. They are you and you are them. So we can move past that quicker, knowing that we can't lose them and that we're never actually separate. So I want to empower you guys to come out of this energy, but let's go ahead and step into the masculine's energy here and get some clarity, because a lot of you guys are just feeling really uncertain, really unsure. And I think what's going to happen actually right now is that a lot of feminines are going to realize that they've been chasing, and you're going to want to step back out of that energy to reclaim your power, guys. When you're chasing anyone, you can't be in your power. Okay, so interesting. We have awaken and celebration. I'm telling you guys, the masculines are awakening. Even though they had the Eight of Cups energy and my previous reading today, and coupled with the Nine of Swords, that doesn't mean that they're not celebrating, because on the other side of both the Eight of Cups, walking away from something, the energy of sort of devastation or sadness is the new beginning, stepping out of that energy. And the Nine of Swords is they're resting. They're going to take some time so that they can complete this journey that they've been on. It's the completion of a major, like probably the biggest karmic cycle of their lives, guys. And this is taking a toll on them, because when you don't have that self-worth, you don't know how to navigate the ups and downs of this journey. And they look at the feminine as the muse. They look at the feminine as he or she has got it all together and has all the answers. And they just don't feel like they measure up, or they just don't feel like they're worthy. So they end up going back into old karmic cycles because A, it's familiar, B, it's comforting, even though it's toxic. It's what they know, and it's how they've perceived love to be. So the divine masculine, up to this point of meeting the feminine, and even after meeting her, if they reject you in some way, it's because they're rejecting the idea of this unconditional love, because they don't feel worthy. So this tells me that they're healing all of that. That's why they're going into this Nine of Swords energy, guys. They're healing this. It's a celebration for the divine masculine collective. I've been feeling this, for a little while. And it's interesting that we have this turn of events where the feminine is the one that seems to be suffering more, even though the masculine had some harsher energies today. They are starting to celebrate how far they've come on this journey. They're starting to celebrate themselves and actually give themselves credit where credit is due. They are realizing that life can be joyful. They were stripped of joy for so long. Their journeys have just been so toxic in many ways and so dark. One of the things that always comes across from the divine masculine collective is that they feel alone and lonely. So even when they're with people and they're in quote unquote good company, it's not good company, because they have to put on a mask and they're not understood. And these are men and women with huge gifts. Okay, the divine masculine has huge gifts, and they're coming into this lifetime. I have to phrase this carefully. They're coming into this lifetime with huge gifts, and they don't even know who they are. They don't even realize who they've been in a past life, how powerful they are, and why they're here. But then they meet you, and it sparks something inside of them, and it's that awakening. But guys, for a lot of the masculines, they meet you, they awaken, and then they go back to their old ways, the drinking, right? Or for some of them, unfortunately, it might be drugs. It might be prison for some masculines. They have been to prison, some of them, to learn the lessons, the karmic lessons that needed to reverberate for them in this lifetime. For some of them, it's going to be karmic partners, karmic jobs, family members, friends, just patterns and cycles that are just all played out. So divine masculine, you are definitely stepping into a place where you just, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, guys, they cannot deny what they know now. They can't. And so now, rather than letting the twin flame journey be a burden, or their feelings for you be a burden, they're starting to celebrate it. And I feel like this is because the feminine spoke her truth, because on the bottom of the deck, we have communication. Okay, and this came through in the other reading as well. But what this feels like to me is they're celebrating that you've communicated something to them and it's awakened something inside of them. So this is what I'm saying. If you guys spoke your truth and you felt like, I shouldn't have done that, that was a mistake, now that I did that, I scared them away, I forced us into separation, or, my masculine ghosted me, it's my fault. You have to see it from the higher perspective that for some reason, they needed to hear what you had to say, and you needed to say that to them at that time in that way in order for something to shake them awake, guys. They've been awakened by what you said. Don't worry about if you feel like it was harsh. You're talking to yourself, so you can handle your own, words. You can handle that. So you don't have to worry about that, Divine Feminine. I want to make that really clear, because a lot of feminines just are really, they're challenged by guilt, and it's the codependency of feeling like you have to people please and make sure that you don't hurt anyone's feelings or step on anybody's toes. Guys, if you're going to be a leader on this journey, you're going to hurt people's feelings, trigger people, step on their toes, and you're going to piss people off, okay? And that might include your masculine. But if this is something that needs to be said and they needed to hear it in order for them to progress, then it's what's going to happen. So please, guys, take the reins off and just allow yourself to speak your truth at this time. Guys, we have a very powerful happening right now. Venus is in Scorpio. There is no holding back. Okay, the truth is coming out. It's literally barreling out of us. And that's why so many of you have spoken your truth. So if you feel like, I think I should hold back, and I've been there, I think I should wait, it is going to kill you. It is going to eat away at you. It's going to drive you crazy, and you're going to feel so good when you get everything out. Ask the questions you need to ask. Get the truth, get the honesty from your Divine Masculine. Wipe the slate clean so you don't repeat that cycle. Shame doesn't like to be spoken. So as soon as you get that out in the open, it cannot haunt your connection anymore. That cycle is going to die. That old cycle will finally fall away, and then you can start a new cycle. Who cares if it sends you into separation? Go off and learn your lessons in separation. Grow. Focus on yourself. Let your masculine do the same thing, because you know you're going to come back together. Guys, we have to get to a place of deeper faith on this journey where you're not worried about if and when your counterpart's going to come back, or if and when you're going to have union. You just have to trust the divine plan. Otherwise, you're constantly trying to control life, and that is going to not only exhaust you emotionally, but it's going to strip away your joy from the present moment. Literally, your life is happening now. It's not then. It's never then. It's always now. And if you want to listen to something very inspiring, take 5 minutes out of your day and go listen to Sam Harris's talk, It Is Always Now, on YouTube. He's got this voice that holds so much power and resonance. And he says, I think he's actually an atheist, but who cares? Forget about that. What he says in this speech is so important and valuable. It is always now. Why are we always looking over our shoulder? Or as I like to say, when I taught mindfulness at corporations and cancer clinics, I would say, right, to the employees that I taught, or the cancer patients, I would say, we're straddling the present moment, guys, right? We have one leg in the past, one leg in the future, but we're not here. And we have to be here because this is life, okay? That's happening right now under our nose. We have to know how important it is right now. So I urge you guys to ask yourselves, how much time out of your day do you spend thinking about the Divine Masculine, worrying about the Divine Masculine, what they're doing when they're going to come back, how long you've been in separation, instead of focusing on what you have right in front of you. The Divine Masculine, he heard you, feminine, okay? He heard you. It didn't scare him. Telling you guys, it didn't scare him, it empowered him. Okay, it awakened him. And that's something to be celebrated. And his higher self is celebrating that awakening, celebrating that engagement with you, that communication. He's definitely got you on his mind. The Empress, justice, bringing justice to the Empress. I can't make this shit up. The Tower, wow, guys, 3 major arcana cards. Need I say more? I mean, I could end the reading right here. 3 major arcana cards in the Divine Masculine's energy. Major upheaval. Tower, major upheaval. Guess what? Bringing justice to the Empress, to the true Divine Feminine. If there was, somebody who tried to be you, okay, and the Divine Masculine got deceived, justice is coming in. This is like, justice is the energy of karma balancing out, in my opinion. Okay, it's the energy of everyone getting their just desserts. Okay, that's what I studied criminology for like a semester in grad school. But one of the things they talked about was just desserts. And it was this idea that the criminal would get what they deserved, right? It's like everyone gets what they deserve. But karma is not meant to punish. Oh, karma will get you, karma will bite you in the ass. It's not like that. Karma is meant to teach, it's meant to shape, it's meant to grow you. And you're meant to make better decisions in the future, and that's how you cancel out your karma. You make better decisions next time, and then you cancel out that karma. So we constantly just are reinventing ourselves on this journey and in life and as a human. And everyone makes mistakes, everyone lies, everyone cheats in some way, everyone does something wrong. Nobody has never lied or cheated in their life. I'm sorry, nobody. Everyone has done something that's dishonest, and we're humans, okay? Everyone has hurt somebody in their life. We've all done it. So nobody escapes unscathed is what I say with life. So we have this energy of the Tower crumbling down on the masculines, but he's standing on the one rock that he can find, the stability. And it's so interesting because it looks like a mermaid. It's actually somebody falling, but it looks like a mermaid. And I feel like that's his old self. And then you have his present self who's standing here like, okay, fine, let it rain down on me, let it fall. He's not scared of this tower. This is not a tower like in the past, because he knows in some way that he's bringing in divine justice to the connection and to the counterpart. He knows that you are the true queen of his life, and that anyone else was just a stand-in, if you will. Anyone else he was deceived, okay? Anyone else who was trying to take your place in any way, shape, or form, they couldn't hold a candle to you. That's what I'm hearing the divine masculine say. They didn't hold a candle to her. So there's nothing to worry about here. You don't need to focus on that person anymore, divine feminine, because it's not serving you and it's not serving your union. Okay, so I'm actually going to look over here because I would like to get, let me just think for a moment. It's funny, I feel like these 4 decks is what I've been working with recently because it's what I'm feeling. Let's see. Yeah, they don't want me working with any other decks tonight. So, okay, so let's look at, you know what, I'm going to stay with the tarot for a second. So let's look at what's coming next for this divine masculine. You know, this truth has been spoken. What's coming next? 3 of Swords. So he may have to go through a period of heartbreak, and I feel like this is more having to do with self-betrayal and him conquering the ways in which he's betrayed himself on this journey versus betraying other people. Because when you can conquer that and you've forgiven yourself, you can forgive most people in your life. I won't say everyone, because sometimes, you know, there are experiences that may not be forgivable for certain people, but most people can be forgiven. And he's definitely, I feel like that's the Tower moment that's going to come crashing down. So Spirit, can you clarify the 3 of Swords? Why is the 3 of Swords here? Why is the 3 of Swords here for the divine masculine? Why is the 3 of Swords here? Ten of Cups upside down. Now, I normally don't read reverse, but this feels significant. The 10 of Cups upside down feels pretty significant, and it tells me that this is where you walked away, and where the divine masculine felt like it was over for good this time. Like, I had everything. I felt whole and complete. You know, I had home in this person. She or he was my home, and I don't have that. And something feels like it's missing for the divine masculine. Something definitely feels like it's missing, but he has to figure this out for himself. It doesn't matter how many times you try to convince them that you're their divine partner. You tell them about twin flames, or you could say this and say that, but they have to learn on their own. They have to go on their own journey to realize this is my true partner, and it was all along, and I had them right in front of me. But right now, there's this feeling like I don't know if she's coming back this time. Now, the Page of Emotions here, the Page of Cups, suggests that on some level the divine masculine does know there's going to be a restart or a fresh start, but it's not going to look like the past. So why isn't it going to look like the past? What's going to be different about this new start? What's going to be different after this Tower, after justice is served to the Empress in his life? There's a celebration, and it's all thanks to this communication where you spoke your truth. This is very interesting. It's very interesting. So, what is coming next for these divine masculine? We've got the Five of Swords. So, yeah, this Tower is, it is coming down. It is raining down on the divine masculine. 10 of Cups in reverse. 3 of Swords, heartache, betrayal energy. Guys, this is like feeling defeated, and interesting. They're sitting in lotus position, so they're promoting, you know, peace within. And it looks like offering the olive leaf. Is that what that is? I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like that. Okay, Five of Swords is like, yeah, it's an olive branch, not a leaf, an olive branch. It's like he wants to extend the olive branch to the divine feminine, because he's like, I do feel like I've lost, but he's learning from the loss and the defeat, okay? He's learning from that 10 of Cups in reverse. He's learning what it feels like to lose you. And I think that's exactly what needed to happen for this divine masculine to really see what's important. So he feels like he failed, but he's going to come up. There's going to be a resurrection. So Spirit, what happens when the divine masculine fully awakens to who his Empress is? What happens then? Well, he's gonna awaken to his gifts, guys. You know, we have the World card, the 9 of Wands card, the don't give up, believe in yourself, believe in the journey, believe in what you're doing, ending of cycles. When he fully wakes up, he's gonna end the previous cycle, right? That big karmic cycle that I've been talking about. And he's gonna use, here's the energy, the Magician, he's gonna use that energy, right? Like that knowledge, okay, that awareness of who you are and what this connection is and who he is, to fully really step into his power. He's going to use everything at his disposal, and he's going to be like a kid in a candy store, because the Magician has everything at his disposal. It's like, he's a master of his emotions. He's a master of his physical reality. He's a master of his mind, and he's a master of his soul. This is, you know, these are awesome cards. So on the other side of this challenging time, divine masculines, okay, so feminines, if your masculine's quiet, they're on a journey. It's a fucking journey right now to get to the other side, okay? So you don't need to pull them through. That is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to focus on yourself. That's what's going to pull them through. The more you focus on them, the more, trust me when I say that just because your divine masculine wants to hear from you in separation doesn't mean that that's the right choice. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. This is your journey. It's unique to everyone. But what I'm saying is, it can set you back and actually delay reunion and union, because the divine masculine will depend on the feminine reaching out. And then you're going to get triggered because he may or may not respond. Even though he wants to hear from you, he may still be an ego. He may be in another relationship. So he may or may not respond, and you're going to feel triggered. Okay. So you have to really, really come at it from a place of unconditional love. And very few times can we actually do that on this journey until we're in full inner union. And even then you can still get triggered sometimes. So think about it before you reach out and communicate. Is this really the best thing? Am I doing this because I want to hear from him, or am I really fully doing this from the purity of my heart and because I want to help them? Most of the times you're doing it from ego. Most of the time on this journey we reach out, we're doing it from ego because we want some sort of ego boost. We want the validation. We want to know they're still there. But I'm telling you guys that you can interrupt their healing process by reaching out. So it's not always the right thing to do. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So there's definitely going to be an ending for this divine masculine with this Tower moment. They want you to know this. They're appreciative of the communication that you brought in. It did awaken them. There is a celebration that's going to be had. You know, that 10 of Cups is going to come out of reversal, okay? And of course, after the World card, you have a new cycle. You can't end a cycle and not begin a new one. So there's going to be a new beginning. Guys, there's you know, this masculine is like, I've never given up. I'm not giving up. I'm going to get to the other side of this, and I'm going to use all the resources I have to finally realize my own potential. The World card coming out of is learning all those lessons and taking all those karmic lessons with you rather than letting them weigh you down. So he's right now going through the thick of it, but I want you guys to know that again, I'm going to stress and urge that the very best thing you can do is focus on yourself right now. Your masculine is in the process of awakening, okay? And he doesn't need you to walk him through this, just like you didn't need anyone to walk you through this. Support is welcome, guys, but you can support in the 5D. You can support by talking to them in the 5D. You can support in other ways. You can support them by supporting yourself. So decide if you want to reach out, if it's from a place of ego or if it's really from the heart and soul, and you have zero expectations of hearing anything back, and you know you won't get triggered if you don't hear back, okay? And that's hard to do, honestly, on this journey, especially if they're with someone else and you don't know what to think. Then you go on their social media and it just triggers things, okay? I've heard the stories. So think about that before you act and before you reach out. It's not a rule that the divine masculine is the only one to reach out. That's a bullshit rule. The feminine can absolutely reach out. Just do it from a place of no expectations. And just know that your divine masculine's on a journey right now, and they're going through it, but they are going to bring injustice to the Empress. They just have to go through this tower moment, guys. This is a tower moment that is going to allow them to have that breakthrough. So I hope this has been informative, guys. Please check out my other video I posted. Check out my Patreon. You can support me there. I've got a lot of recent postings over there, videos, letters, posts, lots of things in the past 2 weeks. And if you're interested in individual coaching, there's an email below the video. You can reach out to me. It's lunargoddesstarotofficial. I know it's long. lunargoddesstarotofficial@gmail.com to work with Holly and myself on an individual, one-on-one basis, private sessions. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.